Anika asked me the other day what products we've got in the shop for pain. So I thought I'd get a nice big selection out of the shop and then walk us through it to discuss which ones for which types of pain. So the first one, oh, there's so many good ones. Basically, before I start showing, basically the concept of pain is normally inflammation. So when you've got inflammation, the inflammation causes pain. So if you can bring down the inflammation levels in the body, the pain normally disappears as well. So obviously it depends what type of pain you've got. If it's something like fibromyalgia, I would go for something like magnesium that I discussed in the video the other day. There's a lot of other supplements that goes much more in depth if you've got specific issues, more than what I've got here. But I'm going to discuss a few of the big ones and then we take it from there. So the first one I wanted to mention is the Migrafast. So it's a product by DNA, and what it's fantastic for is actually migraines and headaches, which is a very common form of pain that people experience. And it's got a fantastic blend of magnesium L-threonate, it's got ginger, it's got feverfew, and a whole bunch of other herbs. And what I actually want to say on the feverfew, I've got another feverfew here somewhere. So the feverfew one is one of my favorite herbs. It's for fevers actually as well, but it's fantastic for pain. So I've used it for period pains, I've used it for headaches, and it kind of like, it just helps dim the pain receptors in the brain that's actually telling your body that you've got pain. And it's in this Migrafast as well, which makes a fantastic blend for me. You can also use feverfew on its own for like arthritic pains or headaches if you don't necessarily want to do the blend. Then something that a lot of people come asking for at the moment, which is more external than internal, is the castor oil. So we've got the hexane-free cold pressed organic castor oil, and you can use this just as is. It's a fantastic oil that draws really deep into the tissues. But what I would do is I might want to mix it with something like jojoba oil just to thin it a little bit, and then I would add oils, either just plain frankincense, which would be fantastic for like arthritis type of pain. And then we've also got peppermint and lavender, which works very, very well for pain. So you can add all three in there, you can choose one of them. Obviously some of them smell nicer than others, but you can do your own little mix there. And then massage that onto the areas that's affected with pain. Then one that a lot of you would know is arnica. So arnica is more a homeopathic remedy, but it's fantastic for bruising, for just general pain, especially before or after an operation. They normally suggest that you take arnica. And one that kind of goes aligned with the arnica is the Traumeel and the Injury. So one's from the Heal range, one's from the Pegasus range, and they both have the arnica in, but with other products from the homeopathic range that will also help for just general achiness, stiffness, and especially pre and post operation. Those are fantastic options. Even after like a big fall, like any kind of fall is a big trauma on the body, and in those cases, and then normally obviously get the bruising going with it, those products would be fantastic for that. Then another type of pain that's quite common, especially here at NAMO, that we get is sciatica. So obviously when a client comes in with sciatica, we would normally suggest that they come for a treatment, that they actually align the muscles and the spine to kind of help relieve the nerve pain caused by the lower back, causing the sciatic pain going down the leg. But if you can't maybe get a consultation quick enough, or you're not here that you can get the treatment, then I would suggest the Sciaticon by Willow. It's a tincture blend that's got the homeopathics in and a bunch of herbal products, and it's got everything in that I love. It's got the Boswellia, it's got the celery, it's got devil's claw, so that kind of like just takes the whole pain aspect and also the inflammation on the nerves. You do drops in water and it's amazing the feedback that I've gotten from that. I mentioned the Boswellia there. We've also got Boswellia on its own. So Boswellia is actually like from the Bible, you get your frankincense. Now Boswellia is just its Latin fancy name. And Boswellia is fantastic for arthritis. So any kind of stiffness in the hand, stiffness in the shoulder, even like a frozen shoulder, this is amazing stuff. It's also in the Rumelia Forte from Himalaya. The main ingredient in here is the Boswellia, so that's why I love this product so much. They actually suggest this for frozen shoulder, sprains, gout, arthritis, osteoarthritis, lumbar spondylosis, So any kind of achiness in the joints specifically, then this is fantastic, but I think it's the Boswellia doing the magic in that product. So you can also just go for the plain Boswellia. Let's see what they say on here. Beneficial for aid in inflammation, improve circulation to affected joints, providing symptomatic relief of arthritis, tendonitis, carpal tunnel syndrome in the wrist, gout, and sports injuries. So any kind of pain, like my go-to would actually be Boswellia. And then obviously you can do the frankincense oil as well externally if you have a very severely affected area. So something like carpal tunnel syndrome, you can maybe do the castor oil frankincense mix externally, and then do the Boswellia or the Rumelia internally as well. Then we've got the Rumaflam here, which is a product by Tib. Also a fantastic mix of all the different herbal remedies. So this one is also a fantastic one. You will be able to find this in most chemists as well, if you might not be in Stillbed where you have access to a wider range. Then we've got MSM. So MSM is a sulfur. So a lot of people are allergic to sulfur, then you won't be able to use this product. But if you can, it's a fantastic nutrient that actually helps for many different things. So it's for skin, hair, nails, it's for gut health, it's antihistamine, it's for a lot of things, but above all, anti-inflammatory. And the anti-inflammatory, as we mentioned earlier, is going to help reduce the pain because it brings down that redness and tenderness in the inflamed areas. Then we've got Turmeric. So obviously most of you will know the 5 whole spice as well, which has got the cinnamon, the ginger, cayenne pepper, cloves, and turmeric. And this one is basically a capsule form that's got 2 of them in. So turmeric is a blend of turmeric and cayenne pepper. Also a fantastic combination for pain and inflammation, especially for joints. I would do that for more jointy kind of pain. Then we've got the Inflamag, which is a product by Lifestyle Nutrition. Healthy Herbs is actually the company. The guy that creates this is the naturopath, so he only uses like the best, cleanest ingredients, which is really nice. And this they suggest for back pain, swelling pain, arthritis, and then pain associated with menstruation as well. And it's got the MSM that we mentioned here. It's also got the magnesium, and then it's got some fantastic herbs as well. So this is a fantastic blend again. Then quite a big topic is the CBD. So I've got 3 different ones here. We've got CBD capsules, we've got CBD oil, and we've got CBD gummies. And all of them work for pain. There's not one that's really more specific for pain. Obviously the milligrams you can compare and see which one's going to be the strongest. Obviously your max dosage on CBD is normally about 20 milligrams per day. And with them, I always say less, more often, so that you can keep the CBD circulating in the system to help fight the inflammation the whole time. It also works fantastic for the nervous system, so especially if you're feeling stressed and that's making the pain or inflammation worse, then that's a fantastic product to go for. Then we've got Prime Self. So their inflammation complex is fantastic, especially for joint health, because that's normally where the inflammation hits us first. It's got a blend of the MSM as well. It's got the turmeric in, it's got the cat's claw in, quercetin, and black pepper, obviously, to activate that turmeric. So this is a fantastic one, also for inflammation. You'll hear I'm kind of repeating myself, but it's the main thing for pain is to bring down those inflammation levels. Even when I'm doing a treatment, then if the area becomes very red, then I normally tell the clients and say, listen here, I can see there's a lot of inflammation here. You might be a little bit sore afterwards because it's that inflammation now releasing. And the next one, talking about the treatment, is low back knee. Very weird name, but basically what it stands for is lower back and knee pain. So if you struggle with the lower back or the knees, then this product's for you. And it's got a big list of ingredients. I love Willow's blends. They always add like extra in just to make sure that it does its job. And yeah, it's got the Boswellia, it's got the celery seeds. Celery seeds are obviously amazing to bring down and break down the uric acid levels in the body. It's got the devil's claw, which I love. It's got ginger, which is anti-inflammatory. It's got the turmeric, it's got willow. So this is a really fantastic blend, actually for more kinds of pain than just the lower back and knees, but specifically obviously that's what they brought that product out for. Then We've obviously got quite a few different products in the shop. We've got Go-Go Pain Spray, we've got the Nature Fresh pain gel that's got like MSM and ginger in. We've got the Dr. Lee pain spray that we sometimes use in treatments as well in a really badly affected area. Then you can rub that on as well, and that will help externally again. And then talk about externally, we've also got, this is a new product, it's a magnesium and DMSO blend. And what the DMSO does, we'll probably do a whole video on DMSO to explain that a little bit better. But DMSO is basically, they found that it numbs the receptors in the body or in the brain that tells, it numbs the message that goes to the brain that tells the brain that you have pain. So even if the problem's still there, like a sore muscle or injured muscle, this will help relieve the feeling of that pain. So then one can still do maybe an internal one to help fight the inflammation and actually heal the area quicker. But the DMSO actually helps take in that magnesium, draw it deeper into the bloodstream, into the tissues, and helps fight the pain in that area. Then we've got another cute one. This is gummies from the Known brand, and it's a turmeric and ginger blend. And as we mentioned, obviously the turmeric and ginger are all inflammation fighting spices. So this is a very nice, fun way to get in your anti-inflammatory nutrients there. Then this is a very nice one. New Genesis brought out the Orthoflex, which has got the eggshell membrane in. And they actually said that it gives proven results in 10 days, which is fantastic. So if you really struggle with like a bad knee, like a carpal tunnel kind of syndrome, like a really bad shoulder, then this is a fantastic one. I would almost compare this to collagen, and also like your MSM helps produce your natural collagen, so that will help build up the cartilage and everything in the body. This basically does the same. It really builds again and helps fight the inflammation. So this is a very nice 2-in-1. And then, this is one of my favorites. I think I've just got the one. So Devil's Claw. I've now mentioned it was in some of the blends as well, but Devil's Claw, horrible name for the poor herb, but it is fantastic. So it's actually like a little plant that grows in the desert, and it has like this thorn that looks like a little bit like a claw when it gets dry, so that's obviously where it gets its name. And this stuff's fantastic. Like out of everything, this and the Boswellia probably is the best. And what this does is it actually helps break down the inflammation in the body, and it works really quickly. So I had a client, she had like a really bad shoulder, she couldn't lift it even. She came in, she's very anti-pain pills, and she wants something natural. And I put her on this, and literally the next day she was back and she's like, what was in those pills? And freaking out, and I was like, what happened? And she's like, she was scared that there might be pain medication in it. And I was like, no, it's just Devil's Claw. And she's like, well, the pain is gone within a day. So that was really a very nice testament of what this can do as well. Obviously, you can't use it during pregnancy, like a lot of the herbs, but it's a very, very good one. I would say if you're struggling with pain, I would definitely give Devil's Claw or Boswellia a try first, along with something like turmeric, for example. You can always do, if you don't want to do turmeric tablets, you can always just mix some turmeric. I normally take about a teaspoon of turmeric with a teaspoon of honey in some milk and then some hot water, and I make like a golden latte from that, and that's naturally anti-inflammatory as well. Then willow. So not the willow brand, this is the willow herb, so actually like the willow tree, and this is where they make aspirin. So they make aspirin from the willow tree, and this is just the pure extract of willow. So it's like a natural aspirin basically, very good for headaches, fevers, inflammation, basically anything you would use a Disprin for, you can use the willow for. And it does have a bit of a blood thinning effect, so just be careful for that if you're on blood thinning medication. But it's a nice one as like a step before you go on to the more pharmaceutical meds. And then again, the celery seed, it was also in quite a few of the blends. This brings down your acidity. So why I'm hammering on that as well is that if your acidity levels are too high, then you get things like gout, you get things like arthritis. So a lot of people jump very quickly on pharmaceutical antacids, where this one actually just break down your uric acid that it forms like crystals in the joints, and that's obviously what creates that redness and pain. And this you can use long term, no side effects. So this is a very, very nice one, especially if you get reoccurring gout quite often. Obviously it's dietary and things that one might need to change, but this is a very nice supplement to take then for any kind of joint pain caused by acidity, maybe not so much an injury. Then we've got curcumin. So curcumin is basically what makes turmeric yellow. And if you're taking normal turmeric, only about 2% of that is curcumin. That's why curcumin tends to be quite expensive, because they need a huge amount of turmeric to give this much curcumin. And also a fantastic anti-inflammatory. This one's more the plain, this one's the plain curcumin. You also get some of them that's blended with extra boswellia that they then add, or even ginger that they add for extra potent benefits. Then we've got the 8Es, which is from China herbs, so they don't use your normal Western medicines, they use Chinese medicines. It's got myrrh in, it's got like a fantastic blend. I can't always pronounce all of them, but I have full faith in this company. They've really got some fantastic products, and yeah, we're still quite new with them, but the feedback I've gotten so far is that they give really, really good feedback. And then the last one that I've got here is the pain reliever from the Herbalist, which is also fantastic for any kind of muscle pain, joint pain, inflammation, even headaches and back pain. So that's also a fantastic blend. So you can come chat to us and then see what options is going to be the best for you.